Today on JD Cars, we're replacing the valve cover on this BMW F30 equipped with the N55 engine and saving about $2 or $3 grand as opposed to going to the dealership. So as many of you know, I've been having some issues with the BMW F30 here. I do have the N55 engine in it, and originally I thought I had a high pressure fuel pump issue. We replaced that with a Dorsch Engineering Stage 1 upgrade, and I'm glad to have that upgrade installed, but it didn't resolve our problem. And after further diagnosis, it appears there's way too much vacuum on our oil fill cap, and because it was such an abrupt issue that it occurred, I have a feeling it's our PCV valve in the valve cover. And unfortunately on BMWs, that valve is not replaceable unless you replace the entire valve cover. Now, I'm not a fan of going to this dealership and shelling out a bunch of money for work that I can do at home, and neither should you. So today we're going to take on the task on our own. I've never done a valve cover, but I'm taking you along for the ride. As I usually choose to do with important engine components and any parts that I really want to be OEM and to be the same or better quality from the factory, I went with FCP Euro for the full replacement kit. Not only is everything we need to do this job included in this box, but it's backed by FCP Euro's lifetime warranty. So let's see what we get in the box here. So we'll receive in the box here a new engine variable valve lift eccentric shaft actuator seal. It's always good to replace our seals when we're getting in there. And to go along with that seal, we have two new screws. These are BMW thread forming screws, also from FCP. To go along with it, we have a new BMW engine crankcase breather hose with new clips on here, which are often broken during this job. A new BMW oil filler cap, and in the big box inside, the holy grail, the new valve cover itself. As you can see and hear there, we have all of the new fasteners pre-installed. They're self-retained, so you don't have to worry about them falling out, and you also don't have to worry about properly locating each specific screw in each hole. Additionally, pre-installed is a new BMW valve cover gasket. I'm going to try not to dirty this up or disrupt it at all because it's nicely seated with new gaskets around the top as well. So the first step of this job is popping the trunk. I've got a battery charger plugged in at the moment, but we're going to unplug it along with the battery. Because we're going to be working on the high pressure fuel pump, it's really important that we unplug this. Simply take a 10mm socket, loosen up your battery terminals. You only have to do one. I like to do the positive one, pop off the terminal, and then put a microfiber or any sort of rag underneath it that'll insulate that and won't allow the car to make that connection. As Brian from Keys Motorsports taught us, it's always a good idea to insert microfiber and loosely tie it here so that our trunk can't close and lock us out. Now, popping the hood here, my engine bay probably looks a bit more exposed than yours does at the moment. That's because I've already removed some of the cowling and the engine cover, but to reiterate, it's an extremely simple removal process of this top cowling. You have three 10mm fasteners that you just twist to the left, release them, pop this one grommet out on the side here, and the entire trim piece comes out. After removing these and the engine cover, you can pull out the engine insulation right here, which will expose the entire valve cover. But we're also going to remove this strut tower brace right here to gain better access to the valve cover. We'll pop up these two little plastic covers up at the windshield here. We'll just set these right here for now. Now, underneath those two covers and on each side, one on each strut tower, we have an E18 female Torx. Removing those fasteners should allow us to remove the brace, shimmy it on out, and we'll set it aside for now. At this point here, we're now going to start disassembling vacuum lines and electrical that's going to interfere with removing the valve cover. So for instance, we have a vacuum line going over the valve cover here. We have this electrical line going right over the top of it. So to begin with, we'll pull off this little plastic cover here, set that aside, and we can temporarily remove this electrical connection by removing this little 10mm right here. Removing that fastener will allow us to remove this. We can just bring it over to the other side for now. We can also release our O2 sensor connectors, and don't worry about mixing these up when it comes time to put them back together. The easiest way to tell them apart is this wire towards the back of the car only has 4 wires, and the other side, of course, only has 4 wires. This one has 5. So you can easily tell them apart. Just pop them from the little metal retainer. Squeeze the release tab right here. Pull it and release it. Do the same with the other one here. And this third wire that this is connected to is just a little push connector right down here. Press on that little metal spring. It will pop right out. We have a little wire retainer right here. Press that to release it. And we should be able to bring these wires over to the other side as well. Disconnect the eccentric shaft connector here. Just a little press tab. This vacuum line is also just little press clips. Might need some pliers to get in there though, it's really tight. Yeah, so I actually needed 2 hands on this one, and it had a boatload of vacuum, which points to our supposed PCV issue here. I needed 2 hands to pull this off. It was on there tight. But we'll tuck this one away as well. It's got another little vacuum line right here. You should be able to pull out. Might need 2 hands for this one though. I actually needed some pliers to pull that one off, and on the back little nub, there's actually just this little cap. Oh! God damn it. Well, I was about to pop that onto our new valve cover. Now it's time to retrieve that and put it on the new valve cover before I forget. Alright, secured that little nub and put it onto our new valve cover here. Let's get back to tearing down the old one. We now have 2 tiny little E6 Torx fasteners. We're going to use an E6 female Torx socket. Remove these guys. We're replacing these screws, and we're also replacing this seal. Breaking out the 10mm again, we're going to remove this fastener here, holding on these AC lines. Now using some pick tools, we're going to carefully remove the 4 clips around the outside of this tube, which should release it. Now using a T30 Torx, we'll remove this fastener right here, holding on the little metal bracket for our O2 sensors. And of course we'll transfer this over to our new valve cover once we install it. At this point we can pull out our coils. Pretty cool design here from BMW. You just pull up this little latch and it will release the coil connector like so. You can also pull on this, wiggle it back and forth a little. The coil should pop right out. You can also stick a screwdriver or anything through it to give yourself a little bit more leverage. Should pop right out. And I'm going to keep these in order on the workbench. Now using an 8mm socket, we'll remove the ground for our ignition coils. Now using a T25 Torx, we're going to remove 3 Torx fasteners on this plastic wire loom holder right here. That should allow us to remove it and bring it over to the other side. And of course we can't forget these little connectors here. Just take a little pick tool, release the clip, and pull out the connector. Alright, with all of our connections disconnected and those Torx fasteners removed, we can bring this whole wiring harness over to the other side. Just let it chill over there for now. Now the last wire I'd like to take care of is this ground wire right here, which actually goes down along the valve cover and back around it right here. It actually clips into the valve cover. So we're going to use a 13mm to remove this nut, pull this off, and bring it over to the other side. this point, we should have all of our electrical taken care of. We just have to disconnect our fuel lines running to each injector. It's a 14mm, and for the first one especially, you want to put a rag around the connection because there probably will be some pressure. Also, you don't necessarily need the special wrench that I have. You can just use a 14mm box wrench. Alright, I got all of our fuel lines removed here. I just hit this whole area with the vacuum to get any little pieces of crud out of there. And it's not a bad idea to wipe things down with a rag before we pop off the cover, because we don't want any contaminants getting into the fuel system or into the engine itself here. But we should have everything out of the way in terms of wires and vacuum lines. Nothing preventing the cover from coming off at this point. I'm gonna go grab some lunch. We'll be back and we'll pull off the cover. Alright, we're back from lunch. It's time to remove all 24 of these E10 Torx bolts across the whole valve cover. I'm using a female E10 Torx socket here, and they are all self-contained, so don't expect them to come out fully. Just loosen them all up and we'll pull off the valve cover. Alright, so I have all of our hardware loosened except for one little straggler that hid behind this bracket. We have to take a T25 Torx, remove this screw, pull off this bracket, and there's one more hidden right behind there. At this point, we should be able to remove the valve cover. I'm gonna pull off our oil cap. Actually, let's just leave that on for now. Just gonna use a flathead to lightly pry up on the edge here. Oh boy. There she goes. So you can see our old gasket kind of falling apart a little bit. Pull that sucker out. Here's a closer look at the internals. Our timing chain, the valves down there. It's a little bit dirty. I do have a little bit of dirt up along the top here. So I'm gonna very carefully take a microfiber, maybe a little bit of degreaser, and try to wipe this up and away from the engine. Get that out of there before we try to put our new valve cover on. Before we put our new valve cover on, I do want to deal with the breather hose here. It looks like it's a T30 or a T25 down here, right at the base of it. You can see the head of that screw right there. But to get to it, I think it would be wise to remove this reservoir right here. It's just an 8mm screw right here, and this whole thing should pop off and we'll have much better access in there. Alright, it is in fact a T25. Set that right here. Pull off our old hose and disconnect the electrical connection going to said hose. Grab our replacement, plug it in, and we'll install this one just as we took out the old one. Alright, we have our new breather hose installed. I've cleaned up around the edges where our gasket's gonna go, and I actually removed all those fingertips from gloves off of the fuel rail and the injector inlets because they were being much more of a nuisance than they were worth. They were actually falling into the engine, going all over the place. I'm just gonna try to do this quickly and not let any contaminants enter through those holes, but bear with me while I go over to the workbench. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil around all the gaskets, bring it back over, and we'll try to get it seated all in one shot here. Whew, we got her on there. I just very lightly hand tightened a few screws to kind of get it centered and seated. Now we're gonna go back, hand tighten everything very loosely, and then we'll go back and torque back and forth across the valve cover to evenly torque everything. Alright, so all 24 E10 Torx are hand tightened at this point, and they really don't need to be torqued very much at all. They actually only need 6 foot-pounds of torquing. So we're going to do that in a back and forth pattern. I find it helpful to start on one end and work my way down. So I'm going to work my way from the inside out. So I'll go here, 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 etc., down the middle. And then I'll do the same thing for the outside once we've got the center planted down and everything's kind of spread out. I'm gonna go this one, this one, this one, this one, etc. And all of those will be torqued to 6 foot-pounds. It's definitely not easy to get to the back ones, but I found it helpful to insert my Torx bit, wherever that went. Here it is. I found it helpful to insert this Torx bit and little extension. I insert that first and then put the ratchet onto this piece here. Makes it a little bit easier to line up. Alright, so with all of our fasteners on the valve cover torqued to 6 foot-pounds, I've also just gone ahead and installed some new Iridium plugs while we're in here. Not that it's that hard to pull our coils, but I figured it was a good idea. The old ones are pretty toast. Really toast. So it was about time for some new plugs. But if you made it this far in the video and you're actually doing this repair at home and you've successfully made it this far, I'm assuming I don't really have to tell you how to put everything back together. The second half is always easier than the first half and always a little bit less stressful than pulling stuff apart. So at this point, all we really have to do is reassemble our vacuum hose connections and electrical connections, along with our fuel connections as well, of course. I'm going to take care of the fuel lines first and foremost, because that's the most pertinent place. We don't want any crud getting into those fuel ports, so I'm going to get those lines back on ASAP, and then we'll take care of vacuum lines and electrical. Reassembly of everything is going very smoothly. We have all of our fuel lines back in, all of the coils and all of the electrical for the coils. We have our vacuum lines hooked up and our new breather tube installed as we installed earlier. However, I did want to mention very quickly the new seal and 2 new screws that we received from FCP Euro. These are for our eccentric actuator shaft right here. So like we did earlier, I'm going to lube this up with a little bit of oil, put this face down, this part up. We'll install our new little E6 fasteners and that'll be all taken care of. Alright, I'm proud to report everything is back together, and at this point, before you start up the car, it's a good idea to go inside with your key, press the ignition without starting the car, without putting your foot on the brake. Just turn on the ignition and that should get your fuel pump running. Check for any fuel leaks along the fuel rail and along the injector side as well. Make sure you have no fuel leaks, and then go ahead, give her a start, and come back and inspect around your valve cover to make sure you have no oil leaks, and you're all set. This wasn't really as difficult of a job as I had thought it was. It's just sort of time consuming getting everything out of the way, but really not too difficult. It doesn't require too many special tools, and it can certainly be done easily at home. You can also use the same exact process to replace your valve cover gasket at home if you just need to do the gasket. Save yourself $2 grand from going to the dealer and feel good about doing a DIY. I've definitely learned a lot. I hope you guys have as well. If you found this video helpful, please go leave a like down below. As always, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Let me know what future videos you'd like to see on the F30 here. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on JD Cars.